music is on.
Probably. And good evening, everybody. We are officially live for Skyforge the Ascension. I'm Liette, and with me tonight we have Gandomel.
Hey, how you doing?
And Deuce. Who can't say hi, apparently. Deuce.
What's up, everyone? Good to see you, man.
Good to see everybody. Alright, so tonight, obviously, we're going to be talking about Skyforge, and lots of updates since we have officially gone live into, what, open beta? So, sweet. Let's talk a bit about who everybody is, though, in channel. I am a lowly Skyforge player who is relatively clueless, but really likes playing the game. It's fun. So, Deuce and Gandomel have been playing it for quite a bit longer, and within Grievance, Gandomel is our embassy leader of our Pantheon in Skyforge, which we're going to be talking about in detail tonight. So, Gandomel, want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'm going on a 2U member later this year. Started out WildStar with the guild, was an officer in WildStar. Really love everything about this guild, the community, everything as a whole. Been to every get-together since I've been here. Can't miss them. Other than that, I'm just old-time gamer. Started playing in WoW Vanilla and played pretty much any MMO that's dropped since.
Very cool, so you stay busy.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, I know Deuce has the same tendency, so Deuce, tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Well, let's see. For those of you who don't know me, I actually came to Grievance about a year and a half ago, and came because of WildStar. But quickly found out it wasn't my type of game, so I just kind of hung around and jumped around from the other guilds, you know, that we have, because I played them all. So, you know, it's one of those things. Got to meet a lot of people by doing that, and then Arcade. I was one of the first 5 that started the guild in Arcade Alpha Original on day 1. So, you know, from that we took it all the way to live, and then I moved on. Everybody calls me Game Hopper because of that, but hey. So, you know, waited for another game. Went back to the old games, played with the same old people that I love to play with. You know, waiting for a new game. Gandomel said, "Hey, check this one out." Came out and checked it out. Played some CBT, closed beta, and really fell in love with it. It's unique in its own ways, and we'll get into that a little bit later.
It is definitely unique, but in really, really good ways, I think, so far. I haven't met anything I haven't enjoyed. Hey, my character has a statue now. We gotta talk about statues. So, to start off, how does everybody think that open beta access went so far?
Well, launch really, you know, was pretty impressive. They did a stress test on Tuesday. We actually went early access on Thursday. So, you know, they stress tested on Tuesday, where they told us flat out 24-hour stress test, nothing will be saved, but we need everybody to hit the server. And it was a little rough, but between Tuesday to Thursday, we actually launched on time on Thursday with very little disconnects. So I was pretty impressed with that idea of theirs, you know, that they did the stress test and stuff, so it worked out really well.
What do you think, Gandomel?
Yeah, I was pretty in agreement with the stress test as well. I mean, that's a lot of companies don't do that. They just kind of hit the ground running, and then the servers drop on the day of launch, and pretty much the day of launch is a dead day. I mean, we've seen that with a lot of games on launch, and it's relatively a no-play day, basically, because they're doing so many patches, so many bug fixes and stuff, just because the authenticator servers crash or something like that. So I thought it was a good step up for the company to do a stress test like that a couple days before actual launch.
Yeah, and I saw that it made a difference. I could hop right in on launch day and play my game, which was really cool. Did y'all experience any dropping out of game? Did you get any disconnects?
I got maybe 1 on day 1, maybe 2 on day 2. You know, just some sporadic stuff, but nothing really major, nothing that makes me think, oh, I hated this launch, it was so horrible. Actually, it's probably one of the best launches I've actually been involved in.
Yeah, that's over the stretch of this past week that we've been playing. I think I've had 2 drops over the course of this past whole week, and I mean, that's typical with any game. I mean, it's not even necessarily server-side. It could have been something client-side for myself that caused me to drop. So I'm not putting any blame on the development company themselves.
Fair enough. Well, sounds like it's been a success. Any other notes on launch?
Oh, no DDoS attacks.
Yeah.
I could not believe that. I guess they were afraid to attack Russia. So, this is a Russian game if you didn't know.
So many bad jokes. So many bad jokes. Anyway, moving on though. We wanted to talk about classes today. So, there are a lot of them. A lot. What are some of y'all's favorites? Gandomel, what do you think?
I started out playing the Gunner because I bought the Wrath of the Gods pack, so I had a couple accesses to advanced classes. Really like the Gunner as a range class. He seems that whole, to stand back, blow stuff up. I'm kind of working my way towards a melee class now because I'm kind of dispersing myself to have one of each type, melee, range, support, DP, tank. I'm working my way towards Lamont. He just seems like kind of bounce around, melee type, and a whole avatar-ish, control the elements type of thing. And the gameplay just seems kind of unique. And I'm about 3 big clusters off from the Atlas to get to him. So I'm thinking hopefully if Spark Allowance lets me, I should open them when we reset on Wednesday. Be able to open them next week.
Cool. All right. How about you, Deuce? You were playing a Zerker last I checked.
Yes, with the fancy costume that you love so much. By the way, I got that as a permanent costume now, so I never have to change it, even though I changed classes. Just wanted to know you didn't know that, Liette. But yeah, I also got the Wrath of Gods pack, so I actually started on Zerker. I am normally a melee kind of person, or if I am not a melee person, then I'm a range like an archer or something like that. And of course, archer wasn't offered to us initially. And it's kind of a little crazy. Each class has its own little quirk. Each thing has its own set play style. There's a lot of classes that ramp up, a lot of classes that you got to stand and cast. Some cast on the move. Some set up one spell to another. Lots of mouse clicking. Definitely not tab targeting, even though you can lock on a target. And action combat at its best to an extreme, in my opinion.
Definitely. I've found myself prancing around a lot in my cute little heels. So,
one more thing.
Yes.
I did unlock Slayer today, so next time you play with me, Liette, good luck trying to keep track of me. Slayer is, as I said before, it's an assassin and Kratos' love child. If you don't know who Kratos is, God of War.
In what pantheon? I thought that was...
God of War from console gaming.
Yeah, God of War from console. He has his weapons on the chains, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Sorry, didn't play that.
That's okay.
Totally missed it. Well, cool. Are you seeing any particular class combinations that work the best together? You've pugged it a few times and said so painfully.
Well, even though there's not a true healer in this game, there is no, overhealing, anything like that, because truly there is not a healer. The support classes have, and I'll actually let Gandomel talk about the support side, because he actually played the support a lot. But you need a support. You definitely need a tank for these dungeons. They are not walkthrough. They are not easy mode. They are very challenging. Even trash. We tried it. The first day we had 5 people ready to go. We don't have a tank that was ready. And we went in 2 support, 3 DPS. We didn't get to a boss. So, nothing's a cakewalk in this game. Which is actually good for once. It's not like, the first 15 minutes, I'm level 10. By the end of the day, I'm level 30, and in 3 days, I'm max level. This is definitely a long, progressive type of game, and we'll talk about that after the classes. Anyway,
cool.
I get ahead of myself.
Yeah. But yeah, no, for the dungeons, I really love running any of the SWAT missions, which are the scalable 1 to 3s. The 5-man Marsegro, which is the first one, like he was saying. If you don't have a tank to absorb the damage of the mob, to group them, you're not going to get past the first trash bag. It's horrible. But I really liked running with the light binders. They have very good DPS buffing, lots of good shielding, and you can get through a lot just with that one support. It makes a big difference.
All your buffs belong to me.
Greedy. Well.
And, you know, since you're speaking about Lightbinder, we actually have one of our Lightbinders in the channel, which is Nova. And he's actually maining that one. He is not going to shift off of it as make something else his main. So he's been delving really well into that. And, hey, all power to you. All I know is you can never have enough tanks. Because tanks are so important.
Well, I noticed that in the pug that went very poorly for the most part yesterday. I did a pug through the monastery with a tank, a lightbinder, and me, a cryomancer. Unfortunately, the tank was really good at finding a mob in a big old group of mobs, and they sure did kill that one mob. They sure did. But the other mobs killed me, so that was a bit of a problem. Boss fights were generally okay, though, until the ads came along, and then I made friends. So, you're right, those tanks are really important. Really, really are.
The taunt talent on the tank is even more important, because a lot of them in pugs are not picking up that taunt talent.
And that's unfortunate. And hopefully they'll learn it very quickly as they keep having terrible pugs. But maybe they enjoy being last man standing. Who knows?
I enjoyed you dying last night. It was quite humorous.
Yeah.
Told you that zone was fun.
You know, I did not die as much in the pug as I did with you.
Ooh.
Let's see. You had a tank. I was a Zerker. I have no taunt.
Not my fault.
Hold on. Did I drop the rock on your head? No.
I didn't die because of the rock.
You didn't die because of ads?
I don't want to hear.
Okay, well, anyway, I magically died then. I don't know. The mob farted in my general direction.
It was a frontal AoE. I remember now.
Okay, well, maybe he should have been concentrating on use there. Yeah, you give me that look, but hey. Well, alright. So. What?
I have no taunt.
Oh, see, we have it in chat. We're getting a good shout out from Lambo Catacombs in chat. Yay.
And thank you for going through that, Nova. You're awesome. Very awesome. Thank you.
See, that's true. I am a healing orb whore because as Slayer I am very squishy, but I'm also throwing a ton of damage. It's just I can't avoid everything, so you know. And Sarah, my tank from CBT4, has not unlocked his tank yet. He still has 2 more weeks till he can get to Knight, which is his choice of tank.
Are they pretty... Did you ever test a Knight? Did either of you ever try out a Knight?
He was playing a Knight. We actually got Knight in CBT4. Everybody say hi to my wife. Say hi, wife.
Hello, wife. Did you like it?
I didn't try it.
Oh.
I just know I always grouped with a Knight in CBT4. And I will tell you this, Sarah is a beast on Knight.
Sarah's excellent at Knight.
Awesome.
So, Rail is also playing with us part-time, and he's playing a Paladin heading towards Knight, so he'll be another tank that we'll have. And we have about 2 other tanks, and I'm sorry if I'm not naming you by name, but we do appreciate anybody who is playing tank, trust me.
Helic, I know, has been high up on Paladin, he's been playing. So.
Cool. All right.
And I know anybody who knows me, it's one of the question, have I reached max level yet? No, there is no max level.
Have you maxed out things that you wanted to max out yet?
Again, how many people did not hit cap this week? I cannot think of too many. Only people that didn't hit cap
are the people that started late.
Either started late, just haven't put the time in to reach it, and that's what they admit. It is not because they're not getting assistance, and I'll tell you, shout out to everybody who's been in the channel and been in the game, because everybody is getting lots of help and everything, and this is truly a game that excels as a group. So, you can solo until you start getting up into the reaches where a few of us are at, and then it gets very hard to solo.
Why is it so hard to solo?
The mobs
Yeah.
Lots of mobs, lots of health, and they hit like a truck.
Okay. So the game kind of pushes you towards grouping just naturally through difficulty. Cool.
Yes, it does.
Do you think that's a good thing?
Oh, you know, there's always a way to solo. So if you have no friends or anything, I mean, on at the time.
Wow.
On at the time, if you have no friends. Yeah, I know I have no friends. I'm sorry. So ashamed.
Well, you have a really good outfit to make friends.
But there's open zones which you're not confined in and everything, and you can still get your sparks that way. And there's actually a nether test area. Man, I despise that area. It's instance only. I mean, it's single player only. It has good rewards, but whoo, that thing is rough. It's random. You have to complete random of 5 different tests in that zone to get credit. So.
And then there's always the PvP route if that happens to be your forte. You can play that. So.
Oh yes, and PvP is different.
How is it different?
Well, I mean, as a PvPer, I'm used to going and capturing points and stuff like that in instance PvP in Battlegrounds. Well, here, you know, everything is so far, and there are more that are not unlocked. We had a 10-person free-for-all. First person to get 10 kills wins. Okay? Then there was the next one that opened up as a 3v3. First team to get 5 wins. And a win is you kill everybody on the other side. You know, that's a victory and you get full credit. Then on top of that, the newest one we opened up, which is very hard to get queued right now, is the 10v10. Because 10v10 doesn't open up till after 5,000. And if you were not creative with the way you raised your prestige, you're probably not going to hit 5K. You'll be just shy of that. So, you know, there's just not a lot of people up there. And with the way the prestige system works and its matchmaking, it doesn't group people like at 4,000 with people that has 5,000 prestige. They don't hit each other in Battlegrounds. And in fact, I'll let that one go. I'll touch on it later.
Okay. Do you want to talk a little bit about how one can raise prestige?
Yeah, it's actually quite intensive. Mm-hmm. Can't start this one off and I'll fill in the gaps.
Yeah, I mean, depending if you're, you know, as I'm going to use Deuce's words, tip of the spear, the way you're trying to push, you can spend dump credits into your, say, your order system and things like that. Or I'm like more casual, you know, while I'm playing just in the evenings and things. I'm doing basically the way it's meant to be in a line. I'm not pushing. I'm just playing the aspect like a casual gamer would play. You know, in the evenings, maybe extensive hours on a weekend when I'm not at work, not at the warehouse, that kind of stuff. Yeah, a little extra. And I'm right around the high 4 or 5K mark. Now, the people that have been pushing their orders, they're up in the high 6s, high 5s, that area. So they're so far ahead that they're picking up gear they can't even wear yet and that kind of stuff to where. So, I mean, if you're just playing your casual, you'll start getting, like, opening up all the nodes in your atlas by cap sparking, running your quest lines, doing your quest chains, your story level missions, that kind of stuff. You should not have an issue being in the general prestige range of 80% of your base population. So you should not have a problem. Like, I've never had a problem just doing a random group fighter when I needed to do something if grievance members weren't available or something like that.
I have.
Right, the higher prestige people, when they're trying to find a group fighter, the problem is there's only, say, 5% of the population that are in that prestige level, and the odd chance of finding those people on in the hours of gameplay that they're, you know, some might be East Coast, some might be West Coast, some, you're not going to all be on at the same time. So to find a group is going to be very difficult.
You know, I want to touch on that real quick before you go on, Game. And that's why grouping with your own Pantheon members is so important. Because you're keeping them within range of you. Now, as we grow in prestige, our gap that we can group with no penalty actually increases also. I mean, this morning, well, me and Sarah, for the last couple of days, have just been running, you know, trying to get gear and stuff since we've been capped. And I looked, and I did a couple tests, and I said, Streak, are you doing anything? He's like, no. I said, let me group you. I grouped him. He is within range, and he's 1,200 prestige behind me. So as we have grown, the gap has grown also.
Notable that Nova, for folks in grievance, he linked a guide on our forums about how to raise prestige. Thank you very much, Nova. That's awesome. I'm going to be reading that really soon so that I know what the heck I'm doing, hopefully.
Yeah, it's very informative. I looked over it while I was at the office today, and has a lot of good tips in there.
Very cool.
Other thing on the prestige, it just breaks down into 3 areas. You have your Ascension Atlas, which is pretty much the points that you put in that gives you stats, your skills, your talents, and opens up the other classes. That's your Ascension Atlas. That's relatively 1/3 of your prestige. 1/3 is gear. Mm-hmm. And the nice thing about gear in this game is the only thing that ever changes on gear is your weapons. Okay? So when you change from class to class to class, all you have to worry about is your weapon change. But when I change classes, his whole weapon set, his whole character set comes up. So as long as I put a weapon in there, it stays there. So when I shut it down, it's still there. And since it's class only, it really doesn't matter, and I don't have to move it around that way. But at the same time, when you first open a class, like when I first opened Slayer, I had no Slayer weapons because I hadn't played it yet. Gear is really pretty good about being class specific to your class. About 10% I would say is off stuff, but it's also, I've never had a single item drop of a class I didn't have unlocked.
Right, I think that's intended.
So that was good. But, and I found this out, so it wasn't surprising this time, but as soon as I got my Slayer, I threw some points in there, got a couple skills, went out to open worlds, just started killing. And, Slayer has blades, but I had no weapon. In this game, they understand that, and you actually do not have to have a weapon to still be able to use your skills. Except for one boss mechanic where it disarms you, and then when you don't have a weapon that way, then you don't have any skills. But that's part of the boss mechanic.
Cool. Well, that's pretty fair then, that should I randomly lose my weapons as my Cryomancer, I can still blast people in the face. So, neat.
We actually had somebody disenchant their weapon the other day. I'm mistaken.
Really? Yeah. Uh-oh. Oh. That's kind of not good.
But they can still fight. They just lost some prestige out of it.
Gotcha. Okay. I think that covered prestige. And I'm going to go check out that walkthrough, so thank you again, Nova. Y'all wanted to talk about the Pantheon. And I know that was kind of...
This is Gan's baby here.
Right.
I'll be honest with you. I do what he asked me to do. And outside of that, he can deal with that. I'm out tip of the spear, out there, boom, 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 trying. I want to be a god. That's all I got to say. Who doesn't want to be a god? You know what? If somebody says, do you want to be a god? What's your answer? Hell yeah.
Okay.
Now, with the Pantheon, for those who don't know, in-game, the Pantheon is basically their function of a guild. What guilds are called in other MMOs. Right now, we've been doing a lot of focus on expanding, just trying to get as much opening as we can so we can invite members, especially once open beta launches on Thursday. We need to have as much space as possible. I put a big post on the forums for those who haven't seen. You can check out the Skyforge forums and the grievance. That we're not really focusing on a lot of the other buildings. We're just focusing on expansion, just opening up member spots. That we're going to need a good 50 to 100 open spots. Because even for the high-end content, including Pantheon Wars, we need to have 100 people with Divine Node unlocks, which is your God form. So we're just focusing on space right now. But the Pantheon has been going very well in early access, I believe. We're up over 30 members, if I'm not mistaken, as of right now. And that's just people with early access. So that we haven't even touched on the free-to-play players yet. And as of right now, the votes have been going pretty well. I'm initiating them whenever we can. Everybody's been doing their part by doing the construction missions in the order when they pop up. And we've had a lot of donations from the guild, from the members, which is what we use for the resources to be able to conduct these these buildings and things like that. And I just wanted to give a couple shout outs to some of the very large donators, Deuce, Sarah, Streeg, and a couple others. I'm sure I'm missing, but a lot like Deuce, Sarah, Streeg, they've done $500,000, million, 2 million credit donations to the guild, which is very, very useful. That's why we're sitting right now at 5.5 million guild resources due to a lot of these high donations. But I just ask everybody, donate what you can. Don't inhibit your gameplay by, oh man, I feel I need to donate more because some of these guys done 1 million, 2 million. It's not like that. Just donate what you can, but don't inhibit your gameplay because of it.
And if you donate more than me, I will donate more because I must be number one. That's how come I have over 2 million donated. Because Sarah thought he'd be a... Yeah. And he tried to out-donate me. Not gonna happen.
Is this you dropping the gauntlet and saying game on?
It's always game on. It is always game on.
I don't think anybody's going to out-donate Deuce anyway. I think he's even sitting on 11 million credits or something right now just on his character. So yeah, the minute somebody else dumps more in, he's just going to dump more in.
How did you do that?
I took advantage of their mistake. Long story short, it's not a glitch, it's not an exploit. They made a mistake, they made it public. Okay? There was a short period of time on day one where the Argents, which is the little blue diamonds, which is the paid-for currency, we got 40,000 as with our package. Well, you can transfer that to credits, and it's supposed to be at 160. Okay, you get 160 credit per Argent diamond. And I dumped I dumped 30-something thousand of my Argents into it and got a good chunk of credits. Well, all of a sudden, it starts dive bombing. The price does. And it gets down to 54 credits per Argent diamond. Well, you can transfer it the other way. So I then, at 54 credits per Argent diamond, I bought diamonds. And ended up with about 120,000 Argents.
Okay.
The very next day, they figured out their mistake and reset the price to 160. I then bought again more credits.
Oh my gosh.
And ended up with about 25 million credits.
Huh.
And he did say, and he is correct, I have about 11 million left.
Alrighty. Dang.
I've spent a lot of credits on my order.
Yeah, he's probably jumped at least 3 million probably in your order.
Going. Keep going.
5?
I'd say about 8 million.
Okay.
I'm order level 11, which is so far ahead that I don't have to raise that thing probably for 2 months.
Yeah, you're way ahead of where your order should be.
I kind of got carried away because I was bored because I was capped. I was trying to figure out different ways to raise my prestige. Always learning this game too. You know, that's the thing about this game. I learn something new every day. And normally, because somebody tells me, hey, why did you just die? Because that stupid bubble would not get off of me and it was killing me. They're like, did you dash? I'm like, no. They're like, if you dash, you break the bubble.
Was that Nova telling you that last night in group?
No, that was Sarah in CBT4.
Okay.
Well, speaking of which, quick tip: any mob that puts those golden arrows 4 way on your feet, that means it's something you can dash out of.
That's new, by the way. That wasn't there on CBT4. Not that I noticed, at least.
It's nice that they added it.
Yeah, there is some telegraphs in this game, but there isn't telegraphs in this game. You know, a lot of this game is like the mob we were talking about earlier that I ran with Liette last night. The frontal AoE, which will kill you in one shot, he raises up off of 4 of his feet, because yes, he has 6 feet, and raises up, and when he does that, that's your warning, here comes the frontal AoE, and then boom, it comes down, and then you die if you're staying in front. That's the telegraph to this game. There is some missile stuff that actually puts a little pattern on the ground and tells you the missiles are going there. They hit there about a second later, and then they have about, what do you say, about 3 seconds scan until they explode?
Yeah, I can give or take, yeah.
Dash is your friend in this game.
That's why you start out with 3 charges.
Well, I do know, aside from my click and finger, just my direction keys are getting to work out pretty regularly too. Which is cool. You feel more involved in the game in many ways as opposed to hanging out tab, click. Look at that. Tab, click. So that's been fun.
You know, since you bring up the clicky finger, I do want to mention this, especially to people who are just going to be coming in who aren't in early access and didn't play CVTs. The combat can be daunting at first. It is really a unique style of fighting. It is action combat, but if you're not a console gamer, it's gonna be a learning curve a little bit. But there's a training room, you can try out all these classes, and I'll tell you, most of the classes I played in the training room, I do not like. But when you play them in the open world and stuff, they're actually quite fun. I hated Slayer when I tried it in the training room. I love that class to death. It will be my main till the cows come home.
Well, why did you hate it when you first tried it?
It's some crazy clicking to do some of these combinations.
Alright. Why'd you end up with it now?
Okay, I'll give you an example. This is one of my attack skills. Left click, hold right click, 1. That's one attack. Okay, I have 14 different attacks. So
tunnel, man.
that's what I'm saying. It can seem very daunting in the beginning. Now, not all classes are like that. You know, like monk, archer, gunner. A lot of theirs, they have the same amount of skills pretty much, but they like for monk, you change stances, and that's 3 of your abilities right there is your different stances. And then the same combination is used, it's just a different stance which does an actual different ability. Archers, you change arrows to give out different abilities that way. Gunner changes actual weapons, including a mortar.
Yeah, I flip my gun around, or I put it down on its stand and things like that. And then each ability is either like on a gunner, you don't have to click like crazy. You can just hold down your click, and it'll just auto attack.
The casters, for most of them, and I do say most because they are not all, there is some crazy caster classes out there that have clickies too. But most casters,
yeah,
which one?
Which is crazy.
Whatever you want to call it, sorcerer.
But you know, most of them are like click and holds, you know. But they're ramp classes. You know, they feed off of their other abilities to get there. So that's their, you know, stick. So everything is really unique, and I really look forward to playing Kinetic, because I have never seen a class like that before, and I want to see it in open world, because like I said, the training room does not do a class justice. But I'll tell you this, if you like a class in the training room, you will love it in the open world.
Hence why I'm going monk.
Yeah, good point. Me, not my stick, but once I open it, because I will open everything, that's just my style. You know, when I get it out in the open world, you know, playing with it to level it up, I may fall in love with the monk. I may fall in love with warlock. You know, you never know until you actually get out there and play it. But there is a slight learning curve on every single one.
And very, very different styles from what I was seeing. I've tried a few just caster classes in the training room, so of course the Cryomancer and then Necro, which was confusing, at least to me. It was pretty cool. I mean, you do cool stuff, but it was confusing. And tried a witch. That was special. It took me pausing several times to just look at the abilities, read it, and then figure out what was going on. So I'm a nerd. I'm gonna read the stuff, but it helped.
You know, a lot of them are like that too. But like I said, when you're in open combat, you don't have to hit the exact sequence for the exact ability at the exact time. You know, for those combinations, a lot of that's just your filler attacks and stuff like that. I mean, like for me, Slayer, most of my attacks are like 1 or 2 button pushes. It's not even mouse clicks. Because, you know, like I may shift into stealth, and then hit one, and that's going to ping pong me and hit every target within my area coming in stealth and stuff like that. That's an attack. But most of my damage, because we deal on power, mana, dexterity, whatever they call it for that certain class, we have to build that up. We can't constantly keep spanning abilities, so we have to use filler, and that's where the mouse mega clicking goes on.
Gotcha. I find myself doing that too. It's just basic attack. Yeah, it's gonna die. Click, 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 click.
Some of the basic attacks are very powerful, though.
They really
if you use it correctly, yeah.
Definitely.
Or have certain talents that boost them.
Mm-hmm.
Like for Gunner, for instance, his main little left-click auto attack does increase damage for the first 8 seconds. Is one of the talents that he has.
Cool.
To respond to, and I'm not even going to pronounce your whole name. I'm going to call you Rai Rai. Sorry. Rai Rai Yama, actually, is how I hope that's how it's pronounced. But, I played Neverwinter. I'm playing Skyforge now. They're similar, but very different. So, I wouldn't call one easier, one more difficult, in my opinion. They're just different. They're both action combat, though.
And you're gonna keep moving. I played a little bit of Neverwinter, and oh wow, you keep moving. At least for me, it was a lot of movement. I've been trying to see whether it draws parallels to like Guild Wars 2 to me, and no, it's more complicated than that. Even I think. I don't know if you played Guild Wars 2, Deuce. But,
yes, I did.
I think
played Guild Wars 2.
Is a lot more toward Guild Wars 2 in the PvP aspect of this game. Like in the higher end, reminds me of like the large scale battles. Is what the Pantheon Wars remind me of. Is the Guild Wars 2 Guild Wars Guild battle.
Yeah, and the server versus server stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Well, we have open release for open beta coming up this week. What are our expectations?
Well, first of all, let me explain open beta. And, there was an early access to open beta. Why? Because they're kind of going off Neverwinter's model on this, too. Their open beta is their live. There will not be a wipe, and we are going forward. Part of it, you can speculate, but let's be honest. If you're still in quote-unquote beta, you can make mistakes and without the total outrage, because your answer is, we're still in beta. But, so this is their actual live launch, even though it's coined open beta. And I don't expect an outage. I don't expect them not to launch on time or anything with the testing they've been doing and everything. So, like I said, I'm really impressed. They kind of had a bad rap for a couple things from the previous game. And I think they took that seriously and are working really hard to get their reputation back. And this is one of the things, is launching a game that is ready to launch and on time.
Yeah. Well, it feels very finished. Aside from some little subtitle differences between what the NPCs say and all, it feels very polished.
Okay. Come here, you. Yes, he just went airborne.
Oh my.
Come on.
Time to visit.
Yeah, but speaking of open beta, I like using the term, I call it a soft release for open betas. I don't really call it a launch or live, or I just call it, their soft release version, because I think even like Neverwinter is still considered to be an open beta, and it's been 2 years. So, and if everything's going well, they'll call it, okay, 3-4 years from now, they might go, okay, well, we're launched, because they have no more hiccups anymore.
Yeah.
But my full expectation is, because being a free-to-play game, there's going to be a lot of people that jump in, check it out. They're going to be looking for similar casts like ours or streams of gameplay, things like that, to see if it piques their interest. And hence why we've been focusing a lot on this guild expansion. I think we're going to have a lot of new members. This game promotes a lot of group functionality. So we're going to have a lot of people looking for great communities, great group gameplay. And, I mean, that's what I like about, that's why it's an MMO. You want to play with other people. If you want to play solo games, it'd be more the Diablo series style, where you're just playing by yourself. And that's not what people get into MMOs for.
One of the other things I wanted to talk about, make sure my mic's turned on.
It is.
Yes, it is. Okay. one of the things I wanted to talk about is, we talked about caps earlier and, the ranges and stuff. Don't think because you're coming in a week late that you're on your own, okay? We will have multiple people coming in this week, okay? And we will fill the gap. One of the things, that me, Gan, and a few of the other people have been like, look, there's no reason why you should not hit cap if you put in the effort and you're here. Because we will help you hit cap. So don't worry so much about, I'm a week late or, we're not going to be able to group or anything and let that discourage you because we'll catch you up.
Yeah,
And the week will eventually dissolve a couple weeks down the road because, like I said, our gap is already opening up to almost 1,500 right now.
Yeah, there's no shortage of people that if you just ask and say, hey, I need to get through this dungeon or this squad mission because I need these color gems to progress my tree. There's no shortage of people that say, hey, I'll take you through. No problem. And they'll spend 1-2 hours just running you through some of these missions to get you what you need.
Heck, sometimes we fight for get to go.
Yeah,
once we hit cap, it's like we're looking for things to do and stuff. And we enjoy playing our classes, so we want to do something that's productive instead of just grinding out these alternate currencies that are used later on and stuff. So it's nice to be able to go out. And like I said, I took Liette through last night, and actually August went with us and stuff, and they both could use the instance. And I was like, let me take you. I want to take you. And then I made fun of her the whole time, every time she died. But, that was the fun for me. She was very successful. We had no issues actually with the zone and stuff. But it was kind of fun, just, playing with your friends and stuff. So no reason for them to pug. We got plenty of people. Nova has been going left and right, trying to get somebody to help. I think he's like, please, somebody, just let me help you. I want something to do, kind of thing. Because he wants to help. And that's like many of our other, guild members here.
And ironically, speaking of what you were just talking about, I got bumped from y'all's group because I was supposed to go. And I was like, what, you ain't taking me anymore?
But we had a person that could actually use it.
Well, exactly. I mean, I'm not saying that it was wrong, but like we were saying, we have an abundance of people willing to help, and it's a 3-person squad. So it's like, oh, well, again, we don't need you. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll go do something else then. I'll go sit in my corner and pout.
Oh, Dragon, he's actually grooming me, which is a show of affection.
He's a very young bird. And
yes, he's 7 months old, and he's not supposed to be on the cast, but he's being very needy right now, and if I don't pay attention to him, he's going to start going nuts. He actually flew off his perch because I wasn't paying attention to him.
Poor baby.
That's his name, too. His name is Baby.
Mm-hmm. Baby the bird. Got it. Well, is there anything else y'all would like to talk about, cover, or ask the crowd about before we end for the evening?
Gan, you go first.
I just want, well, first, anybody that's not in here needs to follow us. Click the link there. Hey, follow Grievance. Anybody that's interested in joining that's not already a member, click the link there, Grievance Gaming. You can go on the site, look at the Skyforge forums. We'd be happy to have you. We need all the members we can get. Other than that, any members that are already existing in game, look for myself, Deuce, Nova, Sarah, any of these other members, Helic, Warren. All of us are willing to help if you haven't capped, if you just need advice getting through some of these dungeons. A lot of us have a lot of experience. All you have to do is speak up in TeamSpeak, speak up in Guild Chat, or Pantheon Chat, sorry, and just ask for help. I mean, we can't read your mind. We don't know that you need help, so just ask.
It's a good point. What was the question again? Sorry.
Oh, any last thoughts before we wrap up this evening?
Yeah, I remember what I was thinking of. Okay, so here's the thing. For those of you who think you don't have time for this game, I will tell you this. I personally cap in 3 days this week. I will cap 3 days next week. I will cap 3 days the next week after that. So, for example, Rail is actually raiding with WoW. Okay? But he's playing Skyforge with us too. And there's actually time for both. Well, I guess it depends on your playtime too, because some of us are kind of fanatical on our playtimes. But even if you only have a part-time to come into here, you know, this still could be the game for you. So, you know, don't think just because I'm not going to hit cap every week. Cap is cumulative. So anything you don't use, okay, are we done? Cap is cumulative. So say you go on vacation for a week. The next week you have twice as many points. So, you
That's
know,
cool.
you can have a real life and still play this game and not fall behind.
And good point. I'm really, really, really casual, but not doing terribly. I'm just very limited on playtime.
I'll give you a good example on how, and this is not a diss on her whatsoever, but when I played with Caitlin in Arcade, she had to be the slowest leveler in that game because she's a recruiting officer. She has a lot to do, okay, besides actual play the game. In this game, she capped this week and still recruiting and still doing her function, being our general goodwill person and everything. So, you know, even her, and she works a full-time job, she is a nurse and everything. So, okay. Yeah, that's my comment. I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm getting attacked now.
All right. So even busy people can play the game pretty effectively, is what we're getting, which is awesome. All right. We haven't gotten any questions, so it looks like we're good to go there. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in and watching our cast, and we'll look forward to seeing you. Are we back on next week or week after that?
I think we should be on next week. That'll be the first week after Open Beta launch. We'll have that full weekend, so we should have some good information. So a lot of new members, I think, and
Very
I'd like
cool.
to address where we're at. Like I said, now everybody is making good progress with their prestige. Most everybody's within that 2,800 to 5K range, which is a good progress point for everybody to be at.
Very cool.
I do got to throw one shout out. There's somebody more fanatical than me. Corwin has
He's at
800 more prestige than me. He's at 7,000. I'm at 6,300.
Better catch up. Oh no. Oh no,
No.
Deuce.
No, he tweaked to the max and got some crazy lucky stuff, and
I don't know how he got that high.
there's no way I'll catch him. But we reset tomorrow morning, so game on next week. Challenge accepted.
All right. We'll see how you do. Well, good luck, everybody, getting your prestige up. Good luck for those of you who have decided to say game on with Deuce. And really, I mean it, good luck, because... Cool. And we'll look forward to seeing you here. Same time, same place next week. Thank you for tuning in, guys.
Take it easy, everybody. See you in game.
I'm going to use Deuce's sign.
Deuces.
Good night, everybody.